promos there saying your kids belong to the state. They're really coming out of the closet, aren't they?
They certainly are. And, of course, when you go in the workforce, you're going to pay taxes, and that's going to give these bureaucrats more of your money to spend and tell you how to spend it.
Here's Melissa Harris Perry in a MSNBC promo saying that we got to get past the idea that your kids belong to you.
So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments.
Well, that's real straight left-wing heresy, yes. It's just absolutely wrong. Everything we know means children do better when they're raised by their own parents. In fact, you know, we poured all this money into public schools in an attempt to close the gap. Those are the magic words between the high-achieving and the low-achieving students. And they used to think the real cause of the gap was poverty. And now recent research shows it's really not poverty. It's whether or not the kids are raised by their own mother and father. And those who are going to do better in school.
And, of course, they knew that in the social engineering, and that's why they've worked as hard as they can to break up the family. They know full well what they're doing. It's premeditated. What do you make of more and more Democrats and leftists coming out and admitting they lie and admitting they deceive and admitting they want to wreck the economy so they can be in control? I mean, for me, that is criminal fraud to have people involved in Obamacare coming out and saying we lied to Congress, we lied to the public. I mean, that's just outrageous.
Well, you know, this case that the Supreme Court has just taken, it's really pretty funny. It's about Obamacare. And when the Obamacare said that you only got the subsidies if your exchange was set up by the state. The words are very clear. They're not equivocal at all. And they want people to, but most of the states didn't sign up for it. And so the people want to get the subsidies anyway. And they're trying to get the Supreme Court to rewrite the legislation. Now, our Constitution says all legislative powers in the Congress. It's very clear. There's nothing equivocal about it. And the Supreme Court is going to take that case, and the question is, are they going to stick to the way it was written, or are they going to rewrite it?
Well, there's a real power struggle in American intelligentsia and the elites itself. For so long, the Republican blue bloods have worked with the left in this radical transformation. Now that we see that it's designed to wreck the country and fold us into global government, a lot of elites who aren't completely criminal are now trying to put the brakes on things. I know you have a lot of high-level contacts inside the system. Do you think that's an accurate statement, that there is a serious re-looking at things inside of the establishment, and that a lot of people are realizing that we better turn back now?
Well, I don't see much evidence that it's the establishment, the big boys, the Chamber of Commerce types, who are rethinking it because they like it when we bring in cheap labor so they can raise their stock price value can go up. But I think the American people are catching on. That most of the people who are coming in are willing to work for lower wages. And they were asking me to comment on these states that passed the minimum wage law in the other day. But it's not the actual amount of the wage that is attracting them. These people who come in are willing to work for much lower than the minimum wage.
And they genuinely also get welfare on the side as a supplement.
Yes, they certainly do. That's right. And so I think the American people are waking up. And the big question now is, are we going to let Obama get by with his executive amnesty, which is he wants to bring in more cheap labor. And, of course, he's bringing in all these diseases. We've got the children dying with this new kind of a TB disease that's being brought in by these unaccompanied minors who are coming in and trying to go into our schools. And
our children are being sacrificed, regardless of what color, on the altar of globalism. That's why they couldn't control the borders or planes with Ebola, because they don't want to ever send the message that having a border might be something you might want to have. Phyllis Schlafly, stay there. We're going to come back, and I want to get into 2014. How big of a wake-up was it? 2016, Obama's executive power grab. Will the Republican establishment try to block it? But I want to agree with you. It's the grassroots that's waking up. Not even so much the elite, but I am seeing a lot of signs that there are a lot of people in the establishment that do see now that we're coming to the end of the road and that globalism is not really a good idea. And so they may want to change sides, basically, right here at the end so they don't get the blame. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving, an in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. With your very own freeze dryer, you'll be able to freeze dry the food your family loves. Because we live in uncertain, difficult times, what better way to show your love for your family than to buy them a gift that helps them preserve food they can use now or in 25 years. Go to harvestright.com and find out how you can get your in-home freeze dryer. Layaway is available. That's harvestright.com.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Blockit Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
For months, the InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver has been completely sold out. Now, we have finally procured a limited supply from one of the leading manufacturers of nutraceuticals in the nation. But here's what's truly exciting. While we could simply sell the Survival Silver for its already discounted shelf price, we have decided to give back to you, the listeners, who make it all possible with a pre-Black Friday mega sale. We are launching this mega special with an unprecedented 20% off and free shipping on all Silver Bullet across the board while supplies last, and to help everyone stock up before the next shortage. When you buy 4 bottles of Silver Bullet, you will receive the 5th one absolutely free. That's on top of the 20% off savings and free shipping. Finally, if supplies hold, we will extend this special out to Cyber Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, we've never done anything like this before. Find this mother of all specials and others I've not yet announced yet at InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsStore.com.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original $99 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, and other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com, 541-229-0010.
Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. So many other formulations out there contain toxic ingredients, synthetic additives, and even GMOs. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Now is the time to secure Ancient Defense for you and your family. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
I was sitting in traffic, listening to the radio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Phyllis Schlafly is our guest today for the rest of the hour. I am your host, Alex Jones. If you just joined us, this is a short segment, long segment coming up. So I want to just give her the floor right now to get into her view on 2014 election. What does it really mean? What does she see looking forward into 2016? What are the big issues? Phyllis?
Well, the big issue in the 2014 election was the Republicans getting control of the Senate so they can stop Obama from putting any other judge on the Supreme Court. If he put one more justice on the Supreme Court, I think he would rule this country for the next 30 years. And I believe that the Republicans should make a decision that they are not going to confirm any more judges appointed by Obama, because he's already done quite an effective job of packing the federal court system with left-wing judges.
Sure, shouldn't they block his the people he wants for the Attorney General?
Absolutely, absolutely. If they ought to have some fight in them. If people spoke, and they should carry out the wish of the people. If Obama said his policies were all on the ballot, and okay, we'll accept that. They were, and the people rejected them.
That's right. The Democrats and Obama said this was basically a referendum. It was a major political realignment. I mean, the Democrats haven't been this weak since 1920. I mean, this really is a sign that they're in trouble.
It certainly is, and so it's a good omen for 2 years from now. And I hope that the Republicans can stay on the ball and be a fighter. Let's not have any of this talk about bipartisanship and trying to make a deal with them. Use our majority and restore some constitutional rules. The idea of letting Obama make new laws with executive amnesty and executive action is just unacceptable in a free country.
What's going to happen if Boehner and McConnell ride herd on the good Republicans? There's a lot of good ones in there, and they don't repeal Obamacare, or they let Obama sign a bunch of executive orders. What's the word you're getting? Are they planning to slap him down? Because Obama seems belligerent. He says he's going forward.
Yes, he is, and he seems to think that he's some kind of a king who can do whatever he wants, and they shouldn't let him get by with it. Of course, Congress has control of the money, and when he said he won't close our borders to people with Ebola, he wants $6 billion so he can set up a plan to stop Ebola in West Africa. Now, we didn't elect him for that, and Congress holds the purse strings. They shouldn't give him the money.
Wow.
You know, it doesn't make sense. And now one of the big issues that the Republicans are playing coy about is this new giving Obama fast track. Now that's giving him power that they never gave to Clinton or Bush or any of the previous presidents, which means they can go make a trade agreement in secret without consulting anybody, with bypassing Congress, and just make it. And it becomes a treaty with all the advantages and constitutional protection of a treaty.
And, of course, that's that Pacific Trade Partnership that's got 30 parts. Only one part's been leaked, and it gives control of the Internet over to the UN, basically. This is dictatorship by shadowy boards. And, yeah, the Republicans are talking about handing that to him when he's just been given a mandate to do nothing.
Well, we shouldn't let him do it. We should kick up a fuss, and I'm sorry we've got well, now listen, Alex, you know the big fight is within the Republican Party.
Oh, yes.
It's between the establishment, the people who like to think they're the kingmakers of our land, and the grassroots. And that's why people need to read my new book, A Choice Not an Echo, because that tells you about all the shady deals and shenanigans that they pulled in the past to give us this series of losers. We used to call them Me Too candidates. Whatever the Democrats said, the Republican candidate would say Me Too.
That's right, and it's an updated and expanded 50th anniversary issue.
It brings it up to date.
Tell us about the book before we go to break.
Well, the original book I published in 1964, and of course I couldn't get any publishers, so I did it myself, and sold 3 million copies out of my garage. And that is what created the conservative movement, because it told people that we had a real conservativist support, Barry Goldwater, and we could do it. And we did nominate him in the convention despite everything. And then, of course, the big boys smashed him in the general election. But we got our reward a few years later when we elected Ronald Reagan. And if we hadn't created the conservative movement with the Choice Not an Echo in 1964, we wouldn't have gotten Ronald Reagan as the greatest president
That's right.
of the 20th century.